Gender-based violence is something that affects, I would say, even all countries in the world. That's why it was so important today to start the activities for the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence.
Despite the campaign to eradicate it, gender-based violence remains pervasive. Not relenting, civil society organizations have renewed their calls on relevant institutions established to combat such offenses to swing into action. This is why parliamentarians and relevant agencies have gathered here to find a lasting solution to this problem.
One of the key things that we want to achieve is to see what else can Parliament do to address the scourge of SGBV. Fine, they have supported us with enacting the VAP law, Disability Law, Child Rights Act, both at the state and the federal level. But there are key things that are still outstanding. One is adequate funding for the agencies, the frontline agencies like NAPTIP. The second thing that we are doing is looking at states that don't even have the legislation.
It is difficult to keep a record of gender-based violence in Nigeria, as many victims shy away from coming forward.
If you look at those statistics that we have, you can see that there are gaps in the statistics. The statistics we have are those ones that are able to report. There are some that are not able to report, and therefore there is a huge gap.
The United Nations Development Programme representative emphasizes the need for the implementation of the laws against perpetrators of violence.
Really important first step when anybody is a survivor of sexual and gender-based violence, that they can go somewhere, they can get psychosocial support, they can get medical support, but that's the first step in also getting legal redress.
Deputy Speaker, House of Representatives highlights the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act 2015 and funding for agencies to do the needful.
As we progress, we will notice gaps in our laws, and no law is cast on stone. So our duty is to go back and retool the law to be able to bridge the gap that have been created. So it's not about creating new law, it's about implementing what we have so far.
Other speakers call for the establishment of special courts to be set up to speed up the process of justice for victims in Nigeria.
I'm just coming from Algeria, where we had sixth judicial dialogue of African Union. And I was talking about judicial sex stereotypes. And it's also part, and you see that play out a lot.
Our next priority, together with the implementation of the VAP Act, should be how to increase access to justice and how to put an end to impunity. And definitely special courts, trained people that would help to settle cases in the court, and also to have more cases reported and more cases convicted.
Gender-based violence continues to be an issue as many victims fail to come forward due to stigma, lack of prosecution of perpetrators by relevant agencies, and justice for victims of violence. Oli J. Wapera, Arise News.